In a few seconds.
Okay. Oh, maybe. So, like, I don't know if you guys can see this.
Okay.
So, like, from, like, that line all the way down and onto another page is how many notes I've taken so far.
I'm proud. That is most helpful.
Yeah. So, are we back up yet?
I don't know if we're back yet.
I'm gonna refresh and check.
Same.
Let me try you on my phone.
I'm not seeing anything now. Wait.
I gotta get past the ad. Oh no!
Mine's live.
Hey.
I think mine's live too. Yep.
Yeah.
Sure. We're live. Yeah.
I think.
I like how we're also nonchalant about this. Like, okay, yeah, we're live again.
Okay, yeah. It's burning down, but we're fine.
I meant to put the oops command, but I was refreshing the stream and I didn't have a chat.
Yeah, mine is back up, so we're back.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing now that you know that Siro Lali, the halfling goddess of friendship and the Hearthkeeper, apparently her abandoned temple is being used as a hideout for Nara Hoken, the ex-boss of the Crimson
I mean,
Wolves.
I'm assuming that, you know, knowing that stuff about the temple doesn't really matter in this case.
It's just a very odd
Place for her to stay.
apparently this killer is using this as a place.
That's just how it feels. Like it wouldn't really have any.
Which
I
it
just
really
thought
kind
I
of
would-
irks Lulu too. Like as a halfling,
Yeah,
like.
But like my thing is like the reason I rolled that was because I wanted to like figure out, you know, if like it had any connection to why she had like chosen it as a hideout. If this is her hideout, we can find out.
You just don't know that much about Nara Hoken herself.
Okay. So
Let's get this bitch.
yeah, can we roll investigations?
Yes. As you approach this, it's sort of like against the walls that surround Braunfels. Whoa. And you do know that the tower, it is decrepit. There really isn't a way to scale it. And as you approach it, you can clearly see that it's fallen into such disrepair that kind of the upper floors are just demolished. There's only really a first floor. And you both roll natural 1. No, wait, you rolled a 2.
I accidentally rolled with advantage. Do you want me to disregard that roll again, or just take the lower?
I knew I was due for one. I mean, let's be honest.
I think if Savroth and
I was due for one.
want to try investigating as well, so you can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would have been a natural 2.
Yeah, I know they're doing that. They're going for their stuff.
All right, then give me a perception check, Savroth.
I'll work. Oh, perception. Sure.
Actually, yes.
Oh,
you are the only one that can grant me a perception.
Well.
Perception or investigation?
Perception. You succeeded on your investigation.
So there's perception.
No. Okay, so here's what you will be able to do. The rest of you, this place is falling apart. You're kind of scared to be inside this place. You also know that, like, it's a terrible wreck. The interior is just open to the elements, and the interior furnishing is just destroyed. It looks like a very harrowing place for someone to make their hideout. But as you guys are looking around, the Dragonborn does look behind the shrine that's been sort of like decimated by the crumbling roof. And you do notice that there's a little crawl space that seems to go down. You actually see the workings of steps of what might have been at one point a secret basement of some sort that the temple must have had, but it's clearly been unearthed in the crumbling, smashing galore that must have happened however long ago. And you see nothing but pitch blackness inside.
I'm gonna use my Do we all know about this opening? Is it like actually open, or is there anything blocking the way at all, or a door, or anything like that?
No,
I
there's
thought
no
only
real
Saproff
door.
was looking at it.
No, there's no real door that goes down into it. It's just stairs.
No, it's just small.
Okay.
Do you tell us?
Yeah, I'll show you guys. Would take her in if she's
Shall we go in?
she's really a murderer.
Before we go in, I'm gonna cast Dusk and Dawn, and I'm gonna raise the illumination going down the stairway or whatever the pathway that's going down, and just bring up the lighting there so we can get a better eye before we head in.
I was just about to ask if you had, if anybody had any light spells or anything.
So you guys see as the fur of this tabaxi that takes the lead starts to stand on end and shimmer, and light begins to blossom out in front of you. Does this how far does this go, by the way?
Right now it's going to go about 30 feet. 30 feet.
Alright, it lights the path ahead of you, and it goes down. It doesn't go very far down, maybe about 20 feet. You have to climb down, but you already feel as though you are beneath something that could come down on you in an instant. If something were to just go bad. You come forward into this long corridor, and you see what looks like might have been different rooms to your left and your right, and this hallway goes down past your illuminated glow, by the way, and you keep going down, and you see in one room, the first room you come to on your left is collapsed, but the one on the right is actually it's actually a functioning, still standing room. You see in the middle of it a table, and you also see a corpse there. Just something that's not moving.
Do we notice anything that's corpse?
You see in the bright glow that there is a dead Slaad pole next to this corpse.
It's called it.
That's a cantrip, so I can cast it, I could keep casting it every 30 feet, but it's not like a regular light spell. I can just kind of control the shadows and the illumination, but it's not like a full-on darkness or light spell.
Lulu, can you cast your thoughts spell again?
Detect thoughts?
Yeah.
I do have a spell. Yes, I do have a spell slot open. All right, I'm gonna cast Detect Thoughts.
Yeah, because then we can see if there's any more Slaad or anything else in the room.
Do you have to focus on a certain creature? Or is it just detect anything?
It just says once you detect the presence of a creature in this way.
Certain creatures. Basically, if the creature has an intelligence of 3 or lower, or doesn't speak a language, it's unaffected.
It also says detect the presence of thinking creatures you can't see when you Yeah,
it does right there.
Oh God. Poor.
So I am gonna raise the illumination.
You're raising the illumination? Or now
just to make it a little bit brighter, yeah.
Just a little bit brighter? Very well. You begin to Now, does it only hit one creature, Abby?
See, it says
creatures. It's plural. So
plural creatures.
Well, it says you can
certain
detect
creatures.
the presence of creatures.
Yeah, but it is plural. So
you do detect the presence of 2 mines, both of them further down, and one of them you can't really hear or comprehend, because it's sort of like it's not like a language you understand. It's sort of like rough barking almost. The other is you hear it sort of starting to ponder, like how many are left. I can't find them all. But I know they're out there. How many are left? How many have been tainted? And then it stops.
Mm-hmm.
And all of you hear footsteps coming out. And
Miyako out a dagger.
stepping out from one of the rooms. First, what you mistake for a dog is obviously a massive, hulking canine. Its face peeling back with a snarl. Not a wolf, not a dog of any sort, but clearly a canine of hulking size. And behind it steps a thin but clearly prepared individual. She wears leather armor, black, the slight traces of a blue tone of skin and scales mixed in around her neck. As this tiefling steps out, you can barely see her eyes. The blackness seems to just swallow the light that you give off up. And you see the curled horns peeling back along her head.
Miyako's got her daggers out full.
And in one hand, she has a slab pole, nearly ripped in half. Clearly an autopsy of some sort. And she drops it, looks at all of you, particularly Maddox, and says, "So this is what Crimson says. Pointless." And she begins walking forward to the towards you. A scimitar in one hand, and withdrawing a dagger with her now free hand, and the beast behind her snarls, and to your surprise, he yells out, "I'll rip your flesh from your bones."
Bring it on!
Oh no! Before this happens,
And he punctuates
Quaking.
this with, "If you dare touch my mistress."
Feel what?
And I kind of hold my hand out to motion for them to be silent. How many what have been tainted?
This stops her. She stops in her tracks. The determination that she clearly had pauses for a moment, and she gestures to the room you just passed, and says, "The slugs, whatever they are, it's why they want to kill me, because they know I can stop them. Just like I'll stop you."
People jump in. See, information there. You want to do investigation? You ask her questions now.
Out of game, did Hiln ever tell us what the Slaad Lord's name was?
Renbu.
We know.
Renbu?
Yeah.
Renbu.
Yeah, something.
And so I stopped. You know how to stop these.
She nods and says, "I've been perfecting it." She just looks at the dagger she has in her hand. "I can find them, and I can dig them out. It's just a matter of tracking down who and where. What about you?" She looks to you, Miyako, and says, "Have you met an attacker in the night? Darkness falling upon you, swallowing, a piercing in your flesh, somewhere here. She rubs her chest and says, I can take it out. I've had some die, yes. But I've been practicing.
What? Miyako kind of like hesitates for a second, and then she goes, What? What do you mean by that?
They grow.
I know that much. What do you mean by practice?
Well, of course, someone has to get them out before they give birth. Of
Not
course,
specifically me.
This
She's been
means,
killed.
this means, my dear, that it's better for them to die before it comes out. At the very least.
You're not getting the point.
I am not. She looks like legitimately confused. She says, "This has been my
You
plan."
looked straight at me when you said that.
So there's one way that perhaps your life could be spared by the end of this day.
So had
I've been asked to bring a token of your defeat, shall we say, to meet with the Crimson. And I realize this is clearly a great enemy of yours. And I wonder if there is an accord that can be reached to spare your life today.
You couldn't kill me.
have you been killing the people with the unborn babies in them? Is that what you've been doing? She
says
the gnome kind of gave it away when he told you that she's running around ripping people's chests out. He gave it away. She has something to do with these Slaad. And you guys, quick, because gold is in your eyes, quick to condemn her to death without asking her what this is for.
Mako still hasn't had her question answered.
Whose question is being answered next? Because I feel like Miyako had you said
I only had one.
Yeah,
Miyako is
yeah. You give me an insight check.
Okay. $16.
She doesn't recognize you. But you hear her say, well, simply because out of all of them, you must know the cost. To feel ostracized. And eventually, when you do all these things to survive, by the time they know too much, there's no other choice. They simply know too much.
She, the